Assalamu alaikum, family. This is Ryan Jackson from Ryan Jackson LLC. Hope you all having a blessed and wonderful day. Today is Hump Day. We're halfway done with the week. 2 more days, and then the weekend will be upon us. I hope that y'all have had a blessed and wonderful day. Let me start out by saying this, and I'm so remiss for not doing this. This is the day that Allah has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. We give all praises due to Allah for allowing us to see another day, to waking us up. He did not have to do it, but he did. And we're just thankful to Allah for allowing us to see another day, yet another day. He did not have to do it. Many went to bed last night and they did not wake up this morning. So all praises are due to Allah for allowing us to see another day. And the likelihood that you're having one of those days, because we know that in this life, a little rain must fall. Always, always remember this. Tough times don't last, tough people do. Keep your hope, trust, and faith in Allah, God, and He will see you through. I could definitely bear witness to that. So, getting into the topic for this video, I just want to talk to us. And when I say us, I mean Black people, my people. I want to talk to us for a few minutes. I want to ask us a question. Do we know who we are? Just let that ponder for a second. I'm going to repeat the question. Do we know who we are? Just let that question marinate in your head. Do we know who we are? Asian people know who they are. Our Hispanic brothers and sisters know who they are. Native American indigenous people know who they are. White people know who they are. European, white people, descendant white people know who they are. Hell, Africans, our African brothers and sisters know who they are. That's from the continent. But we don't know who we are. Even our fellow brothers and sisters from Jamaica, the Dominican Republic, Cuba, Puerto Rico, they don't know who they are. Do we know who we are? Us as Black Americans. Every ethnicity know who they are. They know their culture. They know their history, their lineage, their religion, their language. They know who they are, but we don't. I know some of you may say, "Well, I'm a Johnson. I'm a Jenkins. My last name is Jackson." Hopefully, that's about to change soon. I'm waiting on my ex. By grace of Allah. My last name is Jackson. A lot of people Johnson, Jenkins, Williams, Watson, Jones, Smith. All these last names, Bakers, Andersons, Hunters, Hunts. All these last names, Lloyds, McGarras, Brantleys, Faines. Brantley, McGarrah, and Faines are Fain is my from my paternal family. Brantley and McGarrah is from my maternal family. My grandmother was a Brantley. Hall, that was my maternal grandfather's last name, Hall. A lot of Halls out there. Harrises. I say all that to say this. That's not our given name. That's not our original name. Those names were given to us by our white slave masters. Just like I named my dog, our dog name was Jackfruit. The last name Jackson, Jones, Jenkins, Williams, Watson, Anderson, that name was given to us. Our slave master's name was Anderson, Williams, Watts. That was Smith. That was their names. And those are European names. The last name Jackson is very common in Great Britain, particularly in Ireland. So is Smith in England. Watson and Williams, Hawkins. All those are common names of European, of particularly British from Great Britain, because our slave masters, they were descendants of the British, Irish, Scottish, English, whatso have you. So those last names are descendant from their people, and it was given to us because we were considered property. Before I go any further, hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button now, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications when I do videos on here. Those are not our names. We carry those names. We have them on our driver's license, our marriage license, those of us who are married. We have them on our utility bills. We get apartments or our houses or cars under those names. But those are not our names, not our original names. Those are not the names, original names of our forefathers, of our ancestors. When I say ancestors, I'm talking about our ancient ancestors who were brought over here on slave ships, the Middle Passage, when that devil kidnapped our ancient ancestors and put them in the bowels of ships, giving them names when they got here that weren't their names from their ancestral land. You're not a Smith or a Johnson. I'm not a Jackson. A Lee. And the French, that yes, they participated in the slave trade too. Yes, the French did down in Louisiana. So a lot of people have French last names: Pierre, Lamont, LaShore. Those are not your names. Saint Jean. Those are the names of your French enslavers, the French enslavers of your great 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 grandparents, great 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 grandparents. The Spanish, they were enslavers, particularly in the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, Cuba, the Dominican Republic. Those are not those people. Our brothers and sisters down there, that's not their original name. Perez, Lopez, Sanchez, Garcia. Nope. Names were given to us. Just like you give your pet a name, that's how we were treated, like pets. Actually, I argue that animals were treated better than our ancestors. Treated a lot better. They would never treat a cat or dog the way they treated our ancient ancestors, our great greats. They would have never treated animals like that. Beat them, maim them, castrate them, hang them from trees, shoot them down, hunt them down, pay indigenous to scalp us, dead or alive. They would have never treated cat or dog that way. They would have never treated cattle that way. Horses, cattle and horses were treated better than our great greats were treated. We built this country from the ground up. I was watching a show last night with Harrison Ford that's on Paramount Plus. Great show. It's created by Taylor Sheridan. It's called 1923. So 1923 is the prequel to the show Yellowstone, which has Kevin Costner. The prequel to 1923 is 1883, which is also a great show, and by Taylor Sheridan. He created 1883, 1923, and Yellowstone. But 1923 in particular is in the second season. One of the characters married a British lady aboard the ship. They met in Africa in a safari. They fell in love. They were on a cruise ocean liner throughout the Mediterranean. I think it was sailing back to England. But anyway, um, the character is Harrison Ford's son, and he was a safari hunt. He used to hunt game in the wilds of Africa. He got into a fight and got kicked off the ship because I think the lady that he married, she had her family wanting her to marry this guy. It was an arranged marriage, but she didn't love the man. So they had a fight on the ship. He beat him up and he got kicked off the boat. So anyway, she was on the ship. She arrived in England. I believe, yeah, I think she arrived in England. She left and she got on a ship that was sailing to the United States. Back then, that's how people traveled abroad was on ship because planes had they weren't at the level that they are now. This is over 100 years ago. So she's on a ship sailing to New York City, and there's a lot of immigrants from England, Ireland, Scotland, Italy, all over Europe, Germany, all over Europe. You're on a ship because that's how they came over here, was on boat. They go to Ellis Island. They have to go to the immigration. They have to go through the immigration process. They have to see a doctor to make sure they don't have any diseases. They're not bringing any diseases over here. If they're pregnant, they wrote on their stomach that they were pregnant. I think PS or whatever they put on there. And they asked them what were their purpose of coming to the United States, and they had to answer questions. Are you coming here to freeload? Are you coming here to be are you not going to be a criminal? Are you coming here to have a job? They had to answer all these questions from customs, from immigration officers. This is in 1923 on Ellis Island. Then once they fulfilled that requirement, they were put on another boat from Ellis Island to New York, and from there they went about their way. Some were meeting relatives who were already over here. Some were just fall into the mix to do whatever. But I'll say all that to say this: our people didn't go through that process. I mentioned a couple minutes ago our process where we were forced onto ships. We didn't go on Ellis Island. They didn't ask us. We didn't see any immigration officers, any custom officers. We were told, nigga, get in that damn boat. You coming over here. We were brought over here by force. Yes, there are those who say that we were already over here. That's true. Two things can be true at the same time. There were black people already here. Yes, they were. But there were also black people who were kidnapped and brought over here. So two things can be true at the same time. The Middle Passage from Africa to the Caribbean to the United States. the triangle, back to Africa. Well, to Europe. The triangle. Boom, boom, boom. So we were brought in here in the bowels of slave ships. John Hawkins brought thousands of black people over here in the year 1555. I know Spike Lee has and the sister, I can't think of her name right now. I have her book, Project 1619. We were over here. We were over here way before then. 40, 50, 60, 50, 60, 64 years before 1619, we were over here. Way before 1619. 1555. On that slave ship, Jesus, by the enslaver John Hawkins, an Englishman, brought slaves over here from Africa. So we didn't go to Ellis Island. It hadn't even been conceived yet. We didn't see any immigration officers. All we saw were enslavers who brought us over here by force to help him build a new world. Pick cotton, raise cattle, raise his children. Our women were what you call it? Not birth mothers, but what you call it? They nursed the white women's children up until 50 years ago, 60 years ago. They nursed white women's children. Pretty much, they were the mothers of white children. Homemakers, nannies. That's not the word I'm looking for. But what you call that word? Where you help a woman or when they're pregnant. I can't think of that name. But that's what our people were forced to do. Forced into labor, slave labor, picking cotton from sunup to sundown in harsh conditions. We lived in shacks. We were stripped of our name, stripped of our religion, stripped of our culture, our history, our knowledge of self. We were given food that they didn't even feed dogs. We were being fed chitlins, pork. We didn't eat that over in Africa. We were Muslim. I'm going to say that again. Our ancient ancestors were Muslim. We didn't partake of pork, chitlins and pork chops and ham and pork butt, pork loin, pig feet, pig ears, pig nose, pig tail. I said chitlins, hog maws, pig hoof, pig eyeballs, whatever the case may be. We did not eat that nasty, disgusting, vile creature. And in the Bible, it speaks against us eating pork. It's in the book of Leviticus. Sorry for the delay. My wife came in, so but we didn't eat that vile animal, that disgusting animal that eats its own young, eats its own feces, eats everything. We did not eat that. That was not our people. That is not our what our people ate. We've been fed. Our diets have changed. We don't even know what we ate. We don't even know where we come from. Do we know who we are? That's the question. Again, I apologize for the pause there, but my wife had came in. Do we know who we are? Ask yourself that question. Do you know who you are? Do you know your culture, your history, your lineage? We don't know who we are. Everybody else does but us. Why is that? So just ponder that question. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications when I do videos on here. Do we know who we are? You're not a Smith, you're not a Jones, you're not a Jackson, a Harris, a Williams, Watson, Anderson, Baker, Smith, Wallace, Hamilton. That's not you. Do you know who we are, Black people? Do we know who we are? We were stripped of our culture, our language, our religion, our name, families. Our families were broken up. We didn't even know where our mom and dad were, our sisters and brothers, aunts and uncles, cousins. They broke up our families. They sold us off. We wouldn't even do that to a cat or a dog. We were split up. Well, I guess you would do that to cat and dogs because people adopt pets and they split them up. So we were treated like cats and dogs. Mother was sold in Virginia. Father was sold in Georgia. Children were sold in Texas. Totally destroying the family dynamic. Not knowing who we were for decades, and we still finding out now, and we don't even know now. Just crazy. Do we know who we are? I think that's a good place to land my plane. Um, Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button now. Hit the subscribe button so you get notifications whenever I do videos on here. Drop your comments below. Let me know what you think. Share this video. Share it, share it, share it, share it, share it. Let's have the conversations. Please share this video. There's nothing really much to disagree on here, but in the likelihood that you do, let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. And in our disagreements, let's use logic, common sense, and respect, not emotion and disrespect. That'll get you nowhere. Support my YouTube channel here, my future projects. It'd be greatly appreciated. Please continue to support your brother because I need y'all love and support. So please, please, please continue to support me. Please. It'd be greatly appreciated. Brothers as well as sisters, y'all be safe out there. Beware and be aware. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy now more than ever before. So please beware and be aware. Whether you're going to work, coming home from work, dropping your children off at school, picking them up, running errands, whatever the case may be, on vacation, beware and be aware. I love y'all and I will talk to y'all soon, inshallah. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Those of us in the Bay Area out here, be safe. It's this weather's pretty bad. So just be safe on the road, whether wherever you may be doing. If you have to travel, be safe. I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. I'm out. Assalamu alaikum.